Hey there everyone, Jacob here. In this video, I'm going to tell you guys a bit of the development process of the Shadow of the Nokizaru, a board game set in feudal Japan that I'm currently designing. Um, in the game, if you don't know already, the objective is for players to get their ninjas across the board to their opponent's castle. The first player to do this will win. But the twist is that the ninjas use hidden movement. So as they're moving across the board, um, you'll always know where your ninjas are, but your opponent will not. And so to catch them, he must use his other pieces like samurais, archers, scouts, and spot spaces on the board. And if he is able to detect the ninja and spot the space the ninja's in, it has to start over. But if the ninja can sneak by and get into the castle, he scores that ninja. And the first player to score all three ninjas wins. So, as with any game, this game kind of started with an idea. It was originally going to be a miniatures game, but it turned out that it kind of morphed sort of into a board game, and I changed the theming to be set in feudal Japan. And as I did this, I actually wrote out like some of the first rules. I was riding in the car and just brainstorming a bit. And I had like a styrofoam cup and a pen, and I just kind of wrote some of the rules on the styrofoam cup. So when I got home, I loaded up. I had recently purchased Tabletop Simulator not all that long ago, and so when I got everything kind of put together, I play tested it with a friend of mine, and it went pretty well. And so I had been at that point kind of studying what it would look like to make your own board game, sort of stuff. By the time I was playtesting, and once we playtested it, it went pretty well. I went ahead and tried to design another board game just to see which if I could make a better one or not. Ended up that the Shadow of the Nokizaru was the better one. Um, so I ended up going with that one, playtesting it, revising it, trying to get it to work. Ended up trying making other board games during this time, setting that one aside for a bit, and then eventually I just kept coming back to this one, and this is the one I've made the most progress with and so far. One of the programs I used a lot when I was making these prototypes was Canva, and I would use their AI art generator, and it's neat because you can just put in like, especially when you're making a board game, you just think of a an idea for a card, for example, like you say you need a card for a spaceship or something, and you can just kind of put in what the spaceship is doing, and maybe takes a few tries, but you can get a photo that looks pretty good, and you can use it as your card art, and that way your art for your prototype looks real neat for people who are playtesting it, especially in the future days. But you can also have nice visuals and stuff, so you can really get the theming of what you're thinking about down. So yeah, I used Tabletop Simulator as my first prototype setup, and I would load in the assets. And I actually now have recently completed a more updated Tabletop Simulator, and I've got in it dice and meeples that I've made. But I used that, and it was nice. Um, you could set up zones and stuff to like automatically randomize your hexes and such. I've got it set up now where I've got pieces on the board. So unfortunately, it will shuffle the pieces around. So I can't do it now, but I used to have it like that. So that was cool when that was working. But I also, like I said, I was able to load in more recently custom dice and all this other cool stuff. So Tabletop Simulator has been a good tool for making it digital. Um, Once I got the game kind of revised down to the point where, okay, I'm thinking this is going to work pretty well, I ended up loading the files into another program called Dextrious. And Dextrious is this board game prototype thing. And I found it before this when I was making other kind of different games. I was working on like a sci-fi kind of one, and I made like some cards in it using some of their default files, but ended up I was able. It was cool because you could print out the cards you made, and it would like auto arrange them into print files basically for you. So all the cards were just kind of like arranged that way. And so when I did that, it was much nicer to have it that way. But so I could So I downloaded those files and I was able to print them out by sending them to Office Depot. And at Office Depot, you can see I have another video on the channel about me going there and getting the printed files and cutting them out. We were able to go there, and it was really nice, full color, and I printed it out on like some higher quality paper, so they feel nice, pretty nice too. Um, I was able to print out like paper versions of the hexes. They'll be cardboard later, but the paper versions were nice because it's nicer paper than just thin printer paper like you have normally at home. Um, One thing I did do that if you are kind of making your own prototype stuff too, I would recommend not doing. If you are getting the professional prototype printed, if you're not certain that your rules are okay, they're done, I'm literally just printing this to send it to reviewers, I wouldn't recommend printing rules like the actual rule book. Uh, because if you do and you take it to a playtest and oh man, there's this rule that needs to be changed, or need to add a new rule to help balance it, or something happens like that, then your original rule book is like outdated now, and you unfortunately spent the money on it. But so just you can print off if your components are easier because you can change rules and keep components, but the rule book itself, I'd recommend just printing that off at home as until you're certain the rules are 100% and not going to change. But after Office Max and some more playtesting, I've done a lot of playtesting recently. Just got back from being out of town, and I was able to do a lot of playtesting out of town, and that was nice. I was able to. I met a guy, and he was able to show me kind of how to make 3D files a little, and I was able to make the meeples and stuff for Tabletop Simulator, and I've also got them. I was able to make like a 3D tower kind of thing, just like rough prototypes kind of for visuals. But after playtesting and such, while I was down there, I was getting in a lot of quotes from manufacturers, artists, logistics people for shipping and all that sort of good stuff. And I was able to get all that in and run a lot of numbers. I've still got some of that to do. I'm still waiting to hear back from one manufacturer in particular. But once we get in a lot of numbers and kind of get a good idea of what it's going to cost, we should be able to progress to the Kickstarter and launching it on Kickstarter here soon. I'm thinking early fall is likely. Early to mid fall would be somewhere probably around there. Then probably it would take about 2 months for the art. Then probably a month or two, possibly for manufacturing. But also during that manufacturing, there would be, I think we might run into, if we do it officially on the schedule, there is Chinese New Year, which is in January, and the workers generally get time off. So there'd be a slight delay there, but nothing big. But anywho, once the manufacturing's done, we'd get it shipped over to America and distribute it to you guys. And so that is exciting, and we're hopefully getting almost to the point there where we can do that. I have actually contacted people for podcasts and possibly have one lined up here, but more on that later. The official announcement on that will be later. Let's see here. I think that's just about all. Um, yeah, I think that's about it. I hope you all are enjoying this experience. This is my first board game, so I hope you all definitely will. You like what I make, and you enjoy these videos and such. If you do, if you don't mind, I'd appreciate it if you'd subscribe, like the video, share it with people you think might like the board game. It really helps. The more people know about the board game, the more I know that, hey, I'm making kind of stuff you guys like, and it would be easier to run numbers and such, as well as know, hey, there are people who are actually interested in this game, want to buy it, sort of thing. So if you can share it, that really helps a lot. You can turn on notifications once you subscribe, and that way you can know when we upload new videos and stuff. But that's all for now. I thank you for watching. I'll see you guys around. We do have a Discord server. If you're interested, you can find the link in the description below. And we'll also see our website down there. You can sign up for our email newsletter. But that's about it. And thank you for watching. At the end of this, you'll see some other recommended videos as well. If you're interested in those, you can check those out as well. We've got probably our trailer or something else up there on our channel as well. But thanks again, and you guys have a great day. And I'll see you guys around soon. Bye.